7 disruptions you might not see coming, ones that are probably closer than you think they are, or that might have a bigger impact than you realize. So we'll go through those. And this whole process of creating these lists is a product of something that we call the Gartner Futures Lab. I'm one of the co-leads for the Gartner Futures Lab, and we specialize in looking around corners to see what's coming next, so you can set your strategy in advance. You don't have to be surprised. You can be ready to roll with whatever happens. And that is what we're going to try to do a little bit here today. We frame the question as a what if. What if disruption strikes and you don't notice? Remember, just like, something going wrong on stage or waking up naked in class, it's a WTF moment. Now, I'm thinking which technology first, not what you guys might be thinking. But the reality is that you have to figure out where you're going to go. And disruption is not just change. Keep in mind, moving a desk, a cup of coffee across your desk from one side to the other is a change, but it's not necessarily a disruption. It might be disruptive if you spilled a cup of coffee, but we're looking for disruptions that cause a fundamental shift in the system that you're working in, the system of behavior, of technology, of whatever. It causes a fundamental shift. And guess what? It doesn't go back to the way it was before unless it's disrupted again by something else. Number 4, the golden age of silver workers. That's a wonderful way to say old people. I can say that I'm a silver worker. Well, not silver all the time. But the reality is that we tend to devalue the resource that is elder workers. They have a retirement age. They don't do as much. We need new mindsets and mentalities. They're not as skilled. They're afraid of computers. All those guys. Just retire. Go to the beach. The reality is we're giving away one of the best assets we have. And generative AI can actually start a golden age for silver workers. It's not a disadvantage. It's not a restriction. We should be taking advantage of it. So what we're saying here is that the disruption is, what if older workers became more productive than younger ones? Well, actually, that's true in many circumstances. Older workers are already more productive, but longer into their life cycle. Retirement age goes up, the work week goes down. Those workers don't have to come to the office. They stay at home and work. They use generative AI to be productive and to understand all new capabilities that they need to learn. We actually believe that certain college degrees will no longer be necessary to get certain jobs because you can hire uneducated people and give them an AI assistant, and they'll be up to speed on that work faster than ever before. Now, I have a son in college, and I'm about to have a daughter in college. That's not good news to me because it's not going to happen before I spend a lot of money. Might be wasted money, but the reality is that we have a need for these workers. We have a need for getting them in the workforce faster and making them valuable. And there's a tech crunch right now, a talent crunch, where we can't find enough workers. So let's keep the ones we have for a longer period of time. Let them have fun. Besides, if we don't, they'll go on vacation and we'll be jealous. Let's keep them working so that they're as miserable as we are. The thing is that these workers are very powerful if we use them right. So their value is greater. They're able to challenge us by keeping us focused on things that a wider range of perspectives actually care about. So where are we? 2023, enhancing markets, as usual. 2028, only extending markets, because mostly we're not going to change. Mostly we're still going to see elder workers as a disadvantage. That's because that's the way we think. You know it's true. Come on, when people get old, come on. My kids once told me, Dad, you're changing. As you get older, you don't understand anything about the world. You got to remember something. I was one of the original team members of cloud computing, and my daughter comes home from school one day and says, "Hey, Dad, we studied cloud computing in school." And I said, "Really? What did you talk about?" She said, "You wouldn't know about that." I said, "Do you know who you were talking to at the moment? Do you know who I am?" And she said, "No. Who are you?" What's that? I said, "Look me up on the web." So the reality is that she's looking at me and she's going, Dad, she comes in and she says, Dad, you are so old. I said, what? I'm not too old. It's just your music sucks. We have that conversation a lot. But the reality is that by 2028, we start getting into this world where we're beginning to extend markets to accommodate older workers, changing our processes and our organizational structures to accommodate. What's disrupted? Talent management. More workers in the workforce means more talent available. Retirement age may go down. The work week may go down. Retirement age goes up, work week goes down, and we may get augmented workers with technology embedded in the brain where the AI talks to you and tell you what to do. Go to the Gartner conference. Buy more service. That kind of thing, right? We all love that. So this is a world where we'll take advantage of using those people effectively. The takeaway here is to orient compensation over a longer life cycle of work, right? So spread it out because you're going to have to take care of these people a lot longer than you might have thought. And also, we're going to have to start thinking about part-time work models. Experiment with what that means. When some people work a longer period, some people work shorter hours, some people are going to do the things we do now. So older workers, very powerful if we want them.